Parker girls volleyball team is riding mighty big waves these days. Saturday, the Lady Lancers made it back-to-back state D5 titles, defeating Ross Brannon on the campus of Santiago College in Orange County. We are joined by a pair of championship Lancers, Coach John Herman and junior outside hitter Sien Gallop. Welcome, John and Sien.
Thank you very much.
You are looking, you were 5 days into your championship celebration. Has the glow begun to fade yet?
I don't think the glow will ever fade. It's such a good feeling to just wake up in the morning and know we've been like so many good teams, and I just don't think it'll ever fade, especially because we've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You referenced it. We'll get to the championship game in just a moment. But I think the drama all began the week prior at Bishop School. Let's set this up. They beat you twice in the regular season. They are your arch rival. You met again in the regional finals, fell behind. Pick up the story, please.
Yeah, it was an outstanding match. 2 great high school teams. Bishop's was very well coached, and the girls just fought and fought. The first 2 games we played our best match of the year by far and away. We were just playing just amazing volleyball. And then Bishop's rallied and won the next 2, and it came down to the 5th game. And they were actually up 14-12, and there was a net call called on them. They had celebrated. They thought they had won. And then we ultimately went out and won 18-16. It was just a great, great high school match. Just fun to be a part of.
Gallop, you were involved in that net call. Did you think you had lost it all?
I definitely did think we lost, and I turned around and I was like, we put up a good fight. I couldn't be mad about that game at all. And just to know that the volleyball gods were on our side, it was nice.
All right, which brings us to last Saturday. I'm guessing, you know, Ross Branson you had an easier time with in the D5 state final. How do they compare with Bishop's? Did you play the better opponent first?
Well, that's a great question. It's hard to tell. We were playing really, really well at that time. There was a lot more probably emotion because it was our rivals, Bishops, and the girls know each other so well. But this was a Northern California team. They played a little different. They were actually ranked number 9 in the state, all school sizes. They had a 6'3" outside hitter and another girl about 6'1" on the outside, and they caused us some problems. So it certainly wasn't easy, and I think that makes it all the more special when you beat somebody who's very, very good.
You know, I know in football you spend a lot of time studying game tape of your opponent. Does the same thing happen in volleyball?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time. It really, really makes a big difference. Normal matches, we don't always have that possibility, but on a match like this, we try to get as much as we could. We try to prepare them as much as we could or can.
All right, Sien, your sister Sage, who happens to be in the studio here today, good to see her again because I had a much easier time with her name than yours. She's playing volleyball at DePaul. You're verbally committed to play at Pacific. Was there any pressure to follow in your sister's footsteps?
I don't think there was any pressure to follow in her footsteps. I kind of wanted to lead my own path, especially coming to Parker after her. I decided that I wanted to go somewhere closer to home and somewhere I would be comfortable with, and I decided that Pacific was the place that I loved and I could see myself going there. So the Midwest wasn't really a big problem.
You know, it wasn't that long ago we were doing the National Letter Signing Day at the Hall of Champions, and we think of San Diego as a hotbed for maybe football, maybe for baseball, maybe for basketball. But man, there were a lot of D1 kids signing letters of D1 letters in volleyball. Why are we such a hotbed in volleyball too?
Well, I think a big part of it is just the opportunity for young ladies to play in college, and then certainly the best volleyball in the country is played in Southern California, and we're still part of that. Just within our own league, I mean, it's a smaller school league. There's probably 15 to 20 girls that will probably end up playing Division I volleyball just out of our own league.
So there's going to be the age-old question, though. Varsity sports versus club sports, kids focusing on one sport early and just playing that. I'd like to hear what you both have to think about club sports. I know that's where a lot of the recruiting connections are made. Is it important for kids to play club sports, or do we make it too important?
Yeah, I think for somebody who wants to attain to the highest level, certainly they probably do need to play club. But I think a lot of parents are pushing their kids in early with thinking that's going to be that's going to come out at the very end. But, there's thousands of girls that start to play at the very beginning. And at the end, there's just a few ultimately that go on and play into college.
Sien, I'm guessing you play a lot of club volleyball, do you not?
Yeah, I play a lot. I think that there's a huge difference between club and high school. High school teaches you a lot more stuff than just volleyball. And I think that that's a great aspect of high school volleyball. And to have Coach Herman as a coach, it's a phenomenal experience. Just be able to go in the gym with him every day. He doesn't just teach us about volleyball, but he teaches us about like being a good person, and I think that's what club doesn't have to offer, is just having amazing coaches in high school.
All right, so before we let you go, we mentioned back-to-back. I mean, that's incredible. Back-to-back state champions. 9 total state championships in school history. You won 9 of 11 trips into the finals. Coach, building the dynasty or keeping the dynasty, which is harder?
I'd probably say from the coach's perspective, probably it was originally to build it. It takes a long time, a lot of effort to get there. We actually started a club program that started with our kids like in 5th and 6th grade, and it took us, that 6 years, 7 years before those kids won that first title 3 years ago.
All right, well, Sien, Coach, we appreciate you being in, and we'll do it again next year, okay?
Steve, we hope so.
All right, have a good holiday season. We will talk again. We are now 5 days out.